Welcome to the Cruise Retreat Podcast. My name is Rita M. Perez, and I'm a triple certified travel advisor. But more importantly, I coordinate all the logistics to bring your online community offline through world travel. If you've been yearning to put together a group trip, but overwhelmed with all the details that come with planning, I and this podcast are here to help. Ready to transform lives on the open waters of the world? Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Let's get into it now. So today's topic is what really is the difference between planning a retreat for your employees versus your community. And when I say community, this really means like clients that you've worked with, an online community that you've built online. So it could be like your followers on any social media. It can be people who have paid you for a membership program. It can be people who have paid you for a course and you're trying to teach in a different way or just get to know them face to face. It could be maybe you have a membership, or maybe not a membership because we just discussed that, but maybe you are part of a collaborative like gluten-free travelers like myself, and you just want to get the community. Maybe they haven't paid you. You just want to get everybody together. Maybe it's just small business owners. You want to get like-minded people all together and networking. So those are different. When I say community, it's really like clients, but also community that has things that are in common. Whereas an employee retreat really is people who are working for you. And I think that really is what the biggest difference is between the two, is that when you are taking your employees on a retreat, you as the business owner or the company leader are paying for your employees to go on these retreats. You're paying all of their travel expenses, and of course you're paying whatever salary that they're making on top of that. Whereas on the small business side, the community side, if you are leading that, really you are only paying for your travel expenses, and everybody who decides to register into the group retreat is going to be paying their own expenses. Now, you may charge some sort of registration to help pay for your time that you're going to be spending and time away from the office, but that is the biggest difference when we're comparing the different types of cruises. Employer pays for the employees, business owners pay for themselves, and if they have a registration, they pay for other little things that like little surprise and delights. Just the typical other retreat expenses, like if you want to have any swag included, or just special events. And this is something that also corporate can pay for, but again, in corporate they're already paying for the majority of everything anyways. So that's the biggest difference. The second biggest difference is how planning looks, because when we're talking on the corporate/employee side, retreat planning is a little bit more laid back. I'll put it like that, because there's a lot of upfront planning that happens on both sides. So we're tracking the logistics of meeting space and cabins and just planning out what our potential curriculum could look like up front, and then securing everything that needs to be secured so that we can start promoting this. And that's kind of like where the differences start between corporate and community, is that corporate doesn't really have to promote this retreat. It's usually some sort of team builder or strategic planning session that the employees just know is going to be happening throughout the year. They know that they're going to be in attendance, especially because it's being paid for by the employer. Whereas on the small business side, there is a lot of promotion that you have to be doing up front to make sure that you can fill the minimum space that's required in order for you to get some benefits out of this, aka get your travel expenses partially or fully covered. So this type of marketing can include, I know people it makes me so cringy talking about sales pages, but there is a sort of sales page when you're working with a travel professional that we do create for you. And this has all the details of everything that's included in the retreat. It talks about all the different costs. It also, if there's any upsells, like if you wanted to do any group shore excursions, or if you wanted to do any additional group classes, this is also a really great place that if you wanted to make or have any of those like one-on-one sessions that you donate the proceeds to somewhere else, this is a really great place to put that at as well. So it is like kicker time for you. You are probably promoting on your own social channels. Maybe you're going on to different podcasts to promote. Maybe you're going live with another business owner to promote. Maybe you're doing this in conjunction with another business owner, and you have a big marketing campaign for that. So the goal really is to bring awareness that you're having this, to bring intrigue so that people are like, I need to learn more. And then obviously to create conversions so that people do book into your retreat. And retreats are happening right now. So I wouldn't worry too much as long as there's a couple basic parameters. So you already have some sort of following. People are interested in what you have to talk about. And they are big travel people and they want to get out back in the world, especially with things slowly, but also swiftly starting to open up again. Another thing that I wanted to mention too is that I know many small business owners have obviously smaller teams. So whereas a corporate contract that I work with is about 100 employees, you may have just a handful of employees. So I've also thought that it would be really cool if maybe like-minded entrepreneurs got their teams together and maybe did some sort of group team building. And they could each of the business owners can kind of like cheat or train on something or help rebuild something. Or maybe this is just an end of year soiree and you want to take your teams out on this amazing retreat just to relax a little bit. Those are other things that I've thought about that. And this can also work if you have a smaller business and are not sure that you can meet certain minimums to qualify for this partial or full compensation of your travel, that you partner up with, and I'm thinking like web designer partners up with a copywriter, partners up with graphics designer type people. And instead of one person doing a retreat solo, you all collaborate on that, and then you can share a piece of the pie of whatever's left over. So those are just a couple of ideas to keep you going. And then another, which kind of like goes into my third point, which is really when you're doing a corporate retreat, it's usually only one company. Like I'm thinking of some of the major theme park players here in Orlando. So Disney is now also going to have their people go on a retreat with Universal people, right? And that's why I say it's a little bit different with small business owners. Or maybe it's even that, because maybe it's like certain virtual assistants work for similar business owners. Oh, that could be a really cool thing. But on the corporate side, that just doesn't happen. It's usually just one company that's bringing their employees and lifting them up while they're away on this retreat. Whereas, yes, it can be, if you have a grand following and, like I'm thinking wine businesses too, if you have a really hefty wine club and people who are like super raving fans and they just want to do something different with you, which is to travel out of the country and experience the world with you, you don't need to partner up with anybody. But partnering up with somebody else could also be a great advantage it's kind of like almost, I'm thinking like a virtual summit where you have publicity in other avenues and in front of different audiences that could help your growth in your business as well. So those are the three main areas that I see that are the differences in planning a retreat for your employees and a retreat for planning for your community. I'm getting tongue-tied now. Let me know what questions you have. These are the types of retreats that I do plan. I do plan both on the corporate side, bringing your employees on a retreat, and on the small business side, bringing your clients or community together to travel the world in an offline way. So if you are interested in learning a bit more, I do have a free retreat planning calendar for you. You can get that at readaventures.net/calendar. And if you're very intrigued and you're kind of like, I'm not ready to pull the plug, but I do want to talk about this a little bit more, go ahead and schedule a Voxer one-on-one session with me. Just send me a message Rita@ritaventures.net, or just send me a message in any of the apps. And we can do a consulting session where you brainstorm the ideas and I can spit out some information that I know with my hefty background, as well as brainstorm and give you some new ideas as well. All right, that is it from me. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for joining me on the Cruise Retreat podcast. Please subscribe and leave the show a rating so more team and community leaders like yourself can get access to these episodes. See you next week.